Hi, Happy New Year. It's Dave from Glacier View Landscape. We've got another 65-degree day here in Colorado. It's pretty unprecedented along the Front Range to have temperatures staying this warm for this long. Today I want to talk about pruning peach trees. There's a special way to prune them, and there's a lot of videos out there about how to do it, so I'm probably repeating some of these things, but this will be applicable to anybody who's watching along the Front Range of Colorado. There's three types of branches that we want to prune out when we're pruning peach trees. Branches that are running straight vertically, branches that are crossing each other and rubbing, and branches that are dead or dying. I've got my secateurs here, also called pruners for those of you who don't use that term. This is a brand that starts with a C, orange handles. I've had these forever. I did go ahead and disinfect these with isopropyl alcohol before I came out here, and the reason we do that is because of fire blight. So if I was pruning something else that happened to have a little fire blight on it, I could easily transfer it to the peach trees. And peach trees are susceptible to fire blight along the Front Range here in Colorado. It's a bacterial disease that is airborne, but it can be transferred through mechanical means as well. So this is a relatively new tree, and I've got a couple of lower branches here that I think I'm going to go ahead and prune out, but the basic shape we want in the end should look something like a champagne flute, so that there's branches going all around, but there's plenty of open space in the center where you can get light and air circulating. Those are two things that are important for good fruit production. Definitely want plenty of light coming into the inside. So, a couple of these branches here are on the low side, and I'm just going to go ahead and take them off completely. I've also got branches that are rubbing on each other, like right here, which I will go ahead and remove that one. I'm actually going to go ahead and take off this entire lower branch, and you can see I'm cutting it almost right up to the plant itself, right through that like that. I'm going to take off a couple of these lower ones here, ones from the inside that are going vertically. I want to remove those. These are some dead ones that we're going to take those off, and again I'm taking them right off, right up to the edge. It's been so warm, you can see the green here. Some of these buds are actually trying to start to open. I'm a little worried about that this year, and so I'm just going to go ahead and start removing some of these dead ones here. And what I'm going to try and do here now is I'm going to take some of these ones out that are going straight vertically. So ones like this. What I'm trying to do is end up with kind of an open top. So I'm going to take all of these ones that are going towards the inside, and I'm going to leave the ones that are heading towards the outside alone. I've also got a broken branch in here. I'm going to make sure that that comes out. Taking out all of these ones. I think I'm going to take that one out completely because it goes right up into the center of the tree. Again, I'm trying to eventually end up with this sort of a champagne flute look up in the center. So again, I'm taking the ones out that go right up inside the tree. Here's another one that's crisscrossing. And if my camera person can come over here and show this, I want to show the hail damage that we've had from a couple years ago. So that usually heals itself over, but it is something to be aware of. So again, I'm going to kind of keep going in and getting these ones out that are heading up into the center of the tree, and eventually we'll trim those to come out. So there it started with sort of a, let's get that one out of there. So now I'm starting to get sort of this champagne flute look. I'm getting all of these out that are trying to head towards the center of the tree. They'll fill in with new growth this year, so I'm not too worried about it. And I think a little bit of shaping out here. I'm going to take out just a couple of these that are crisscrossing. There's another dead one. There's another dead one. And so the last thing I want to do is I'm going to take off the tops of a couple of these just because it's a little bit higher. This side is a little lower. This is just a little bit higher over here. And I'm cutting again right next to the side shoot. We'll take that off about like that. And everywhere I make a cut, generally I should get 2 leaders coming out. Okay, so that's about it with this. General rule of thumb, I'm just getting the last kind of dead pieces out of here. General rule of thumb is you don't want to take more than about 1/3 of the tree off every year. If I take 1/3 of the tree off, I'll probably wait a couple of years before I take another 1/3 of the tree off. But I'm just kind of getting it shaped. Some of these branches, I may come in here one more time and just kind of clean up 1 or 2 more, but the idea is we don't want them being so big that they're going to be heavy and floppy when the fruit starts. We want them sort of stout and having a little bit of strength so that they can support the fruit that's going to be coming this spring, hopefully, if we don't get buds forming here in this warm January. Anyway, if you like this content and want more of this kind of stuff, follow me. Click the follow button.